Greetings in the precious name of the Lord Jesus. I'm Bishop Joe Fierce, and today I want to start a series giving a brief synopsis on the book of Revelation. I received a lot of questions in my messenger and various emails and in person about the book of Revelation. People think the book is very mysterious and that it really can't be comprehended, but it's not so much mysterious. It's just that we have to know the voice of the Spirit and know the movements of the Spirit to understand this book. So what I want to do is in this series is break it down to you in a way where you can digest it. Now, I'm not going to go verse by verse. I'm not going to go chapter by chapter. I am going to give you the macro, not the micro. A macro view of what the book of Revelation is actually trying to convey to us. For instance, if you read chapter 1, you find out that chapter 1 is personal and biographical. And what I mean by that is John, he has an experience where he sees the risen Lord. In fact, if you start off at chapter 1, verse 10, let's read it. It was the Lord's day, and I was worshiping in the Spirit. Suddenly, I heard behind me a loud voice like a trumpet blast. It said, write in a book everything you see and send it to the 7 churches in the cities of Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. When I turned to see who was speaking to me, I saw 7 gold lampstands. And standing in the middle of the lampstands was someone like the Son of Man. He was wearing a long robe with a gold sash across his chest. His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow. His eyes were like flames of fire. His feet were like polished bronze refined in a furnace. And his voice thundered like mighty ocean waves. He held 7 stars in his right hand, and a sharp two-edged sword came from his mouth. And his face was like the sun in all its brilliance. When I saw him, I fell at his feet as if I were dead. But he laid his right hand on me and said, don't be afraid. I am the first and the last. I am the living one. I died, but look, I am alive forever and ever. And I hold the keys of death and the grave. This is just a brief picture of John seeing the Lord Jesus. John says he was awesome. This is what John was saying. He was awesome. When I saw this sight, I was in the spirit. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day, and I got caught up. And when I did, I heard this awesome voice, and I wanted to know who is this. And when I turned and I saw the risen Lord in his brilliance, in his glory, I looked at him and I lost all my strength. I fell like a dead man in his very presence. So the first chapter is just really taking a look at this man named Jesus. And it's letting us know that he is our commander-in-chief. It's also letting us know that these are the things that he had seen. That's what the Lord told him, right? The things that you have seen, the things which are, that's found in chapter 2 and chapter 3. He talking directly to the churches. These letters that he gave to the churches. He gave these letters to these 7 churches in chapter 2. These are the things that were at the very time of John. But we can take those same churches and apply them today, because the spirit, the same spirits that were operating in those churches are operating through the churches around the world. The same things and some of the same issues that they face, the churches today are facing. So that wasn't a one-time deal, but Christ knew that those same spirits will be dealing with humans for the ages to come. But then we shift and we go to chapter 4 through verse 22, we talk about the things that will take place. We know we talked about the things that he had seen. That's in chapter 1. We know that he's talking about the things that were at that time, which was in chapter 2 and 3. And we also know now that in chapter 4 through 22, he's talking about the things that will be, or the things that will take place. Now, having an understanding of it, you can have a better way of digesting this book and not trying to crisscross everything and mix it up. So the next section, I want to talk to you about chapter 6 and 7 and begin to reveal to you what the seals are and what the trumpets are and what the vials are.